we've just arrived at our hotel. We are staying in the Aja Goldsmeden. I'm just gonna say right now that I'm gonna pronounce everything wrong on this trip. I'm gonna butcher every single word because I'm just not familiar with the Icelandic language. But the hotel is so beautiful. It's like an eco-friendly hotel. It comes with like loads of eco-friendly products, like in the bathroom. It's completely kitted out. Also downstairs every morning, or all day. Is it all day?
I think it's all day.
I think it's all day. They have like free coffee, tea, and fresh apples, which is like really rogue, but I'm completely here for it. I love apples. I've never stayed in an eco-friendly hotel before, and it's just really interesting how like much things are changing in that respect. Also, we have this stunning view out of our window. We've got like a massive window and you can see like the sea and the mountains, and it's gonna be the most amazing thing to wake up to in the morning.
It's hard and we wanna let go. I still love you like crazy. I wanna let you know. Even when it gets hard and we wanna let go.
Yesterday was our first day in Iceland, and we basically just used the afternoon to explore Reykjavik, see a bit of the city, and we were actually really surprised at how quiet it is. I don't know if it's because we're here in November, I don't know if it's less of a tourist season, but it was so quiet, which was actually really nice because usually when I go to cities it's very busy, and when you're going to the different tourist attractions you have to wait in long queues and it's hard to get a good like sight of things, but that really wasn't the case here. We went to the main road, which is really the only place where there were like people. There are loads of independent shops which I really want to check out in the next couple of days. Really cute bakeries, there's so many bakeries. They also have a lot of like graffiti off the little side streets, and also loads of the buildings are really colourful. There's lots of like tin buildings, reds, greens, yellows, like every colour, which is really pretty. Of course we went to the church. I'm not going to try and pronounce it because I will just absolutely butcher that name, but we went to the main church, which is the kind of big tourist site in Reykjavik, and it was absolutely stunning. It was huge. It towered over everything else in the town because everything else is so low to the ground, but it was so beautiful. I think actually it's really gorgeous when you're standing really far away from it, and then the closer you get it's like a little bit, it just looks more like concrete, but then when you go inside it is so stunning. It's like the most beautiful church I've ever been in. I think it's my favourite church ever. It's really minimalistic, simplistic, has these beautiful tall ceilings and the biggest organ pipes I've ever seen. They're absolutely huge. You guys have to go because it was just so beautiful. It is free to enter the church, but you have to pay to go up to the top of the church, and I would really recommend going up there because it was so amazing. You go up in a lift and then there's like a clock tower bit, and then you can go up a few steps to the very top, and the views are just absolutely amazing. We went at sunset because it is winter time, so the sun was setting at 4, so we went at sunset, and that was just beautiful because the whole of Iceland was just really golden and gorgeous. So I'd really recommend going at that time if you can. And today is road trip day, so we are going on a road trip around the Golden Circle, which is the main route in Iceland to see some of the main natural sites. I'm just really excited because obviously we spent most of our time so far in the city, which has been really cool, but I really want to be able to see the like nature and natural part of Iceland because I think that's going to be just the most breathtaking, amazing bit. So I'm really excited to take you guys along with me today, and I want to get going because I need some breakfast. We've just arrived at our first stop on our road trip, and it is, I think this is what it's called, I'll write it down anyway, Thingvellir National Park, and it's so beautiful. It's just loads of rocks and mountains, and there's a massive lake. The views are absolutely amazing, so I'd really recommend coming, especially if you come in the summer, because I can imagine that it's really pretty in the summer. However, it's quite cold, as we can see from this massive start. So if you do want to come here, it's really easy to get to from Reykjavik. It's a 45-minute drive-ish, and then you just pay for parking. I think it's about a £5, and yeah, you come and enjoy this amazing national park. It's absolutely massive, and there's loads of stuff to see. There's waterfalls, there's a really cute little church, and it's all really well paved as well, so you can walk really easily. It's not like too strenuous or anything like that. Today we're trying traditional Icelandic food, and we're going to start off with a traditional Icelandic donut because what a way to start. So we've just been to Thingvellir. I'm butchering that, national park. We've done a bit of walking, and what better way to celebrate than with a donut? So we got this from a try to not get the sun in your eyes, from a bakery in Iceland, and I'm actually surprised at how many bakeries there are in Iceland. It's like baked goods seem to be a really big thing, which I didn't realise. I thought it was all just fish. However, loads of baked goods. So what was the bakery called?
It was called, oh, it is Sandholt.
It is called Sandholt Bakery.
I think that's part of a hotel.
And these are called Kleiners. They kind of look like deep fried croissants. They've got that kind of like shape to them, I don't know, in a kind of like twisty way. And they smell really, really good. So let's see how they taste. Mmm.
Is it good?
Yeah.
What does it taste like?
It tastes a little bit lemony.
Lemon.
It's definitely got a lemon flavour to it. They definitely don't have the same texture as donuts. Like, they've got a hard outer layer. And I think they taste a little bit like a lemon drizzle cake.
It's much more cakey texture.
I don't like that.
You don't like it?
I don't like that.
Why don't you like it?
It tastes lemony.
It tastes lemony.
I don't really like, that's way too lemony for me.
That means all the more for me. So we're at our second location of the road trip, which is Giza, which is where we're hoping to see a geyser. I can already smell, Isabel's laughing at me, I can already smell the sulphur, so I think it's going to be pretty rough once we get out of the car. It's very, very eggy. But yeah, I've never seen a geyser before, so I'm really excited. Isabel, do you rate the geyser?
I would rate the geyser a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 if it didn't smell like X.
Oh,
Look at that boomerang.
boomy.
Why is it going up and down?
It's a boomerang.
Oh, on the Instagram.
Yeah.
On the Instagram.
I'm Instagrammatic.
Everyone's thoughts on the geyser?
It was tricky to catch the photos because it didn't come up at a regular time.
I agree. I think when you're there, you have to be on constant geyser watch.
Yeah.
You have to have like your phone or camera running, otherwise you'll miss it, which happened to me. So it was very cool. And also, when we first saw it, we only saw like a little while ago, Isabel and I, and we thought, well, like, it was cool, but it wasn't.
It was like underwhelming.
It was kind of underwhelming, and then it did it again and it was massive. So maybe stay like a little bit longer and make sure that you catch a good one as well. And now we're on to our last stop of the trip, which is called something floss. Gulfloss. I think it's Gulfloss. I think you're right. Oh wow, look at that. Lovely. Gulfloss. And it's a really big waterfall, so that's what we're doing now. Guys, this waterfall is absolutely amazing. I've never seen anything like it. Best thing I've seen all day, maybe even the best thing I have ever seen.
Almost as much as solar spark, sister and brother, emerging daylight from the dark. I will carry all your goodness in my heart.
I think if you do one thing in Iceland, do this, because it's so beautiful. Good morning, you guys. So it is Thursday today, which means that it is our penultimate day in Iceland. Yesterday was a very fun day because we went to the Blue Lagoon, which is obviously a massive bucket list thing. A lot of people, it's like the main reason they come to Iceland, and it was really, really good. I've heard a lot of people say that it doesn't really live up to the hype. I don't know if it's because we came in winter, so there are less crowds, but it actually was not that busy and it was super beautiful. It's just like amazing. I've never been in anything like it. It's this really milky blue. You can't see your hands, you can't see anything once it's under the water. There's steam everywhere. You go get a face mask, you can get a drink, and it's just a really beautiful experience. I'd really highly recommend it. It's got some amazing photo opportunities. I would recommend, if you are going to take photos in there, to take photos quite a bit as you're going around the lagoon, because there's different lighting in different places and some end up looking a lot better than others. I obviously brought my GoPro with me because that's waterproof. I saw a lot of people walking around with iPhones and like waterproof cases, so that's something you could do, but definitely remember that if you do want to take some photos, because you don't want to get your phone wet. Another thing to bear in mind is that your hair will be absolutely dead. My hair is like straw now. It's something to do with the sulfur and the minerals just dries it right out. I shampooed it 3 times last night to try and get everything out of it, and then I did a deep conditioner for 20 minutes, which resurrected it slightly, but it is still not looking at its best. So that's definitely something to bear in mind. And then in the evening we decided that we would like to go see the Northern Lights. So how did that go? We did see the Northern Lights, but they weren't quite as dramatic as I was maybe hoping, but definitely, you know, ticked off the bucket list thing yesterday with the Northern Lights, because it's just unlike anything you've ever seen before, which is amazing. There are a lot of tours that you can go on to go and see the Northern Lights. I personally would recommend that you skip those. The Northern Lights are obviously free to see, they're just a natural gift to us, so I'd recommend driving if you can hire a car, driving outside of Reykjavik, because you need to be outside of the sort of big bright lights of the city, and there hopefully you'll be able to find them for yourself without having to pay anything. Also, if it's really cold and you're not seeing anything and you just want to go home, you can. You're not forced to stay on a boat in the middle of nowhere for 3 hours. We personally went back to Thingvellir, the national park, and that was a really good spot to see them from, about 40-45 minutes outside of the city, so I'd really recommend going there if you're looking for somewhere in particular, but obviously it's a must do when you're in Iceland. You have to go and try and see them even if you don't quite manage it. And today we are off to go see Kerrid, which is this massive crater in the middle of Iceland. You've probably seen photos of it. It's just this huge crater with a load of blue in the centre, so I'll show you guys when we get there. So we are at a crater called Kerrid. I believe it's called Kerrid. I look like an actual egg. And it's all frozen over at the moment because it's winter time, but in the summer it's like a lovely blue lake right in the centre. But at the moment it's frozen, so it looks kind of black. And you can actually walk all the way down to the centre, and it's a pretty easy walk. It's not very strenuous. Having fun, Sissy?
Oh, so much fun, Sissy. We made it to the bottom of the crater! So many things in Iceland remind me of being on another planet, and this is one of them. I feel like I'm on Mars. After visiting the crater, we decided to stop off for hot chocolate at, what's that place called? Selfoss, a cute little bookshop, on the way to a small town called Eyrarbakki, and it is very small. Quite cute. It's very old though. We just saw a house that was built in 1914. But it still looks to me like it looks like a town that's not been finished being built. Still working on it. This used to be the biggest town.
Did it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Used to be the biggest town. It's now got 500 and something population.
So it's got history.
In every wave that hits the shore, can't help but feel you. When the sea lights up at break of dawn, with my wet hands and my wet hands.
I'm really good.
Really good. Better than a normal cinnamon bun?
Yeah, the texture is exquisite.
Wow.
The powdered sugar, amazing.
Amazing.
Make the breathing in.
We're just trying traditional Icelandic cinnamon buns. They're called skorda, and they're really good, says Isabel. I haven't tried one yet. Can I try a bite of yours? Got a bit of ice on your lip.
So hold on tight, that dawn is here.
Yeah, icy here.
We need each other